ひとひらに願いを乗せて指先から染まる黒よ絶望さえ愛しいほどに死神が微笑んだ
And the cam. There we go. Had to blow my nose. Yay! Okay. It's only been like 2 hours, so we definitely have time to do Scien too. And actually, if it only takes 2 hours, or less, we could probably do them all? Maybe? But yeah, let's totally at least do Scien. So since I know that works now, I'm gonna do what I did. Look at the roots map. And start from the first option. CG, choice. Oh wait. Oh, I'm not even there yet. Not CG. Choice, yes. Let's go choice. I love him. I love Scien. Yes. I will be your sandwich dispenser. I will willingly be your sandwich dispenser. Okay, so I'm actually supposed to say... Make sure, despair ending, or not despair ending, salvation. Okay, that'll be save all 3. Alright, yes, so follow this. Ask mother's opinion. It is, it's the best pet name. Oh yeah, it's a new thing. I have work to do here, so I don't think I can work for you anymore. So I'm mama quitting. She's right, and I might add.
お世話をしてもらおうとしている立場なのに、随分な態度じゃないの。
If there's someone in need of help, you had the nerve to treat her so poorly earlier.
一時的な雇用主になる以上、立場は俺の方が上になって当然だろう。
It's only obvious since I'm of higher status as her employer.
だいたい、お前も人のことを言える立場か？
And I'm surprised to hear you say that.
一昔前までは、お前も他者に世話をさせて当然といった態度をとっていただろうに。
I still remember when you acted as though it were only natural for everyone to cater to your whims. Queen. Yeah, I bet Celeste's confused about that. Was she ever like that? I wondered if he was referring to when Mother first opened the orphanage. In any case, it seems Scien was adamant about taking me back to his place. Ooh.
これでもなお断るというのなら。
Take you there by force. Okay.
娘、昨日お前の連れが壊した腕飾り。
I'll work for you for 100 years. I'm okay with that. $500 even. Alright, so leave them alone. Yes. Next, inventors. Oh, wait, no. Oh, leave him alone. Yes. You do not bother him when he is at work. I'm actually kind of like that. when I'm working, when I'm working on a project on my computer or something, I don't like to be like, or even a physical project or anything. Like, I don't like to be like, I don't like interruptions. I'm kind of like Scien in that way. Do not bother me, I'm working. Not now, later. Honestly, I could probably use my own sandwich dispenser. I also tend to get lost in my work. And do often miss meals. Oops. The inventors are amazing. I love the puzzle parts. I love his chaotic laugh. I love it. I love him. It's truly iconic. This part. At least to me, in my heart.
実験が始まったら俺は手を離せん。この施設についてわからないことがあれば今のうちに聞いておけ。
Pillar of Lights.
ああ、大量の数字が羅列されている光の柱のことか。
Yeah, the shiny thing with numbers on it. I'm only certified as a sandwich dispenser. I am not a scientist in any ways whatsoever.
あれは被験体の脳から記憶を引き出すための装置が設置されている隔離室だ。理解したか？ではまずはバージョンアップしたシステムを用いて2体生産。はっ！
Wait, where did Trace go? It was overwhelming. Okay, next I haven't decided yet. No, but him and Mathis are my actual two favorites. Anko recently coming in as a close third place. Alright, last option. I look up to you. I do, he is pretty amazing. You can't deny that. I actually look up to you, Scien. Yes, they're all quite amazing in their own way. They're all good characters.
憧れだと。
Look up to me? Yes, after all, you always kept to your convictions. You're the opposite of me, so I think I envy you for being so strong. Maybe I'm hoping to become someone like you, through helping you with your work. Then again, that would mean that I'm trying to use you for my own gain. That said, I guess the main reason is that you ordered me to work for you, and it's an honor to be your maid, so I don't want to leave you alone. I couldn't explain exactly what led me to think in such a way. The only thing I knew was that I love his laugh when he does puzzles. My daily life with a scary-looking person who saw me for who I was. I wanted that life back. I calmly explained my reasoning so that I could understand myself too.
なんだ、今度は聖女様気取りか。
Are you acting like some kind of saint? Huh?
悲劇ぶったことを言ったかと思えば、今度は一人ぼっちで哀れな人を放っておけないときたものだ。
First it was about helping the country, and now you're saying you can't leave me alone, as if I'm a pitiful soul.
死神、悲劇の少女、聖女様と役がコロコロ変わって忙しいな。
You have a lot of roles to fill as a death, a damsel of tragedy, and now a saint. That's not my intention. I simply want to be of help, Scien.
言っておくが、俺はお前が思っているほどかわいそうな人間じゃない。
Just so you know, I'm not the pitiful soul you think I am.
孤独に慣れているし、それを嫌だと思ったことはない。今の状況だって気にしていない。
I'm used to being alone, and never once considered it a sorry state. So my current situation doesn't bother me.
まあ実験室が使えないのは面倒だがな。
Well, being barred from the labs is an inconvenience. Scien took a step forward, then another. He slowly pulled me to a dark corner of the room until I felt the cold wall behind me.
だからお前の境遇と重ねて勝手に哀れむな。共感を求めるな。
So don't feel sorry for me by comparing my circumstances with yours.
シンプルに。
Keep it simple.
俺と共にいたいからと言えばいい。
Say you want to be with me.
簡単に言えば、お前は俺に情を抱いているのだろう？
Just tell me that you have feelings for me. My cheeks went red as he whispered in my ear.
それがどういう種類のものなのかは一切興味がないし
He's
知
doing
る
the
必要も
K-drama
ない。
move.
だが、俺を相手に本音を隠したところで何になる？
Just admit it. Just let's just be real and just say we love him. I have no interest in what they may be. But what meaning is there in hiding them from me?
俺は感情を持てと強要されることは嫌いだが、他人が持つこと自体は否定しない。
I hate being
鬱
forced
陶し
into
くなければ
emotions,
向けられることも忌避しない。
but I don't forbid it in others. I will tolerate them so long as they don't inconvenience me.
特にお前のような気に入った雑用係ならな。
Especially if these emotions are coming from my personal maid. Scien. His words made me think. Why was I trying to stay by his side despite everything happening around him? I felt as though I had an idea of why now.
ただし、見返りは求めるな。俺はお前に返すような感情は絶対に持たない。
But don't expect anything in return. I have absolutely no feelings to give back to you. I just had a thought. What if they made this this game into like a Asian drama? What would that look like? It's useless. Just when I started feeling a heat inside me, his words ended up causing me heart pain. I would watch it too. I kind of want to see it now. Have they ever made a otome game into a drama before? Like a live-action drama? Has that ever been done? I'm actually not sure if it has been. Huh. That'd be very interesting to see, though, if they did. This was the best proof that the emotions I felt for him were exactly what I thought. So, I actually like Scien? As a man? Yeah, I know anime adaptations, but have they just never thought about it, or Make it happen. Make it... We need to make that happen. I couldn't deny it anymore. No matter how horrible a person Scien was, I couldn't keep away from him, nor did I want to. He didn't evaluate me from a bird's eye view. He looked straight at me and saw exactly who I was. I loved the beauty in his view, which was reflected in my own eyes. But even if this was how I felt toward him, it's no use. I didn't have the right to feel that way. And Scien had no intention of feeling anything. Still, it seemed like Scien was waiting for me to say something. Oh, I wasn't sure what he wanted me to say. Needing to say something, I slowly opened my mouth as my heartbeat echoed. But before I could say anything, I heard footsteps approaching. Ruined everything. The sound could be heard through the wall. Scien clicked his tongue and turned around. I know, right? How rude! How rude to interrupt us. God, some youths! 1 more minute! 1 more minute! Now hold on there, she's mine! What the heck are you doing? You can't go in without... I could hear Yves doing his best as guard, but... A few seconds later...
Scienブロフィアーズだな。ここ最近施した王族のリライバー化について事情を聞かせてもらおうか。
Scien Brofis, you've been summoned by the royal family to explain what you have done with the most recent reliver process. Yes, it's like a... I mean, it's like... They get you so, like, in it. And then then the interruption happens. And it's like... It was well timed, but it's like, ah! Countless royal soldiers barged into the room. Even if we had guards, it would be of no use with all the soldiers in a small room. We ended up being dragged out of the room by the royal guard. We were at least not bound like criminals, due in part to Yves and Hugo, who tried to keep the soldiers at bay. Why are so many of them here anyway? There was something ominous about the situation.
こんなところで共倒れになるのはごめんだぞ。
I'm not getting dragged into this mess right now.
大丈夫。 木を見てみんなで脱出しよう。
Don't worry, we'll make a run for it. Hearing them whisper to each other, Scien was looking at his fingers with boredom. Just, checking his nails, do the The ultimate insults. The ultimate sign of disrespect is the... We followed the soldiers into the joint laboratory to find... A man was on the laboratory floor, suffocating in pain. Suffering, too. And suffocating. He was struggling to breathe. Each time he tried to take a breath, I could hear the air passing through his throat. Wait. It's the same man who broke the incubator. Something wasn't right. He looked relatively healthy back then. But now he was in so much pain that he looked like he was about to die.
なんでこいつがここにいる？こいつのリライバーは作れないようにしてあるから、こんなところへ来ても無駄だぞ。
Why is he here? I blocked his access to reliver technology, but he has no business at this facility.
死にかけているのなら病院にでも担ぎ込むんだな。
You should take him to a hospital if he's about to die.
ふざけるな。お前が閣下をこのようにしたのだろう。
Damn you, you're the one who brought this upon his majesty.
我々が聞きたいのはそんなことではない。
That's not what we want to
閣下
hear.
もつい先日リライバーとして転生したばかりだ。それなのにどうしてこんなに苦しんでいる？
His majesty became a reliver just a few days ago. So why is he suffering like this? Huh? Became a reliver? I gasped in surprise, seeing that the man no longer had the bruise Scien left on his cheek.
どういうことだ？
What do
俺
you
は
mean?
こいつのリライバー化など許可していないぞ。
I never
誰
gave
がデータの
him...
ブロックを解除した？
I never gave him permission to become a reliver. Did someone unblock his data?
しらばっくれるな。お前の実験に付き合うのならと閣下の転生を許可したそうじゃないか。
Stop playing with us. You told His Majesty that you would revive him if he complied with your experiments.
しかし新たな体に乗り換えてから閣下は肺に異常を抱えてしまったようで。
But ever since His Majesty has obtained his new body, his lungs have started to fail.
死の呪いをさらに強めたような症状にずっと悩まされているのだ。
He's been suffering all the symptoms of the
命
curse of
さえ
death.
も危ない。
At this rate, his life is in danger.
もう一度閣下を転生させろ。
Revive His Majesty again this instance. Scien didn't say a word in response to the soldier's demands. He took a step forward and checked the man's chest and throat to assess his breathing. His cold, inorganic gaze was fixed on the man's chest. Scien observed the man for a few seconds, then raised his head.
ち、どこのバカがあのデータを勝手に使った？
Somebody used the data without permission.
どういうことだよ。
What are you talking about?
どうも何も言葉通りだ。研究所の誰かが試作段階のデータを使ってご親切にもこいつをリライバーにしたんだ。
It's exactly as I said. Someone in the Institute stole my prototype data and used it to turn him into a reliver.
あれは試作段階の上、副作用があるというのに。
Not only was it a prototype, but it also had a known side effect. Side effects? Before I could ask him what they were, I mean, if he dies, I'm fine with that. The man's suffering was getting worse.
閣下、気を確かに。
Your Highness, just hold on. Can you turn him into a reliever?
無理だ。こいつが装置を壊したから今はリライバー化の作業が忙しい。培養機の空きもないだろう。
Well, they reap what they sow. It's impossible. He broke our equipment, so now our schedule's backed up. There are no open incubators. But
このまま死ぬのを待つしかないな。
his only choice is to die. The man twisted and turned with agony. After spewing out blood, he stopped moving completely. His bloodshot eyes were wide open and unblinking. At this very moment, a member of the royal Revapar family had passed away.
閣下やはり今の症状は
So that was... The soldiers started to move at once. Some tried to revive him. Others turned on their transmitters. And some began devising a plan in all the commotion.
まずい。このままだとシアンさんが責任を押し付けられそうだ。今のうちにここを離れた方がいいかもしれないね。
I'm trying to remember where we are in the story. Shoot, at this rate, they're gonna pin the blame on Scien. We better get out of here while we still can.
ああ、それが良さそうだ。
Yeah, no way around it.
アルペシェールの全国民よ、聞け。今、この瞬間に王族の中でも信心深く、最も愛されていた男が息を引き取った。
Citizens of Alperchel, hear me. At this very moment, the most pious and beloved of the royal family has passed away.
最古のリライバー、シアン・ブロフィワーズに殺されたのだ。
He was killed by the oldest reliever, Scien Brofis. Where's that coming from? The voice sounded like it was coming from the Institute's speakers connected to a transmitter. A voice sounding as if it belonged to another royal began pinning blame on Scien.
おい、まずいぞ。今の声、研究所内だけじゃなくて、国中に流れてる。
Shit, the announcement's playing all throughout the country. What?
そうか。国内中に放送を聞かせるためのスピーカーがある。それを使っているのか。
I see. So whoever that is, he's using speakers outside to transmit messages to the public?
罪深きシアン・ブロフィワーズはクローン体にわざと欠陥を仕込むことで、いや、クローン体のみじゃない、リライバーと化していない国民
Yeah, not what is expected, but still,
彼にとっては実験体そのものなのだ。
they deserve their downfall, definitely. They were not good people.
秘密裏に入手した資料によれば、ブロフィワーズ家はそうした人体実験を長年続けてきたという。つまり、ブロフィワーズ家こそがこの国に死の呪いを広めた張本人、死神。
The Brofis family is the real death that has been spreading the curse across the country.
奴らは長年
It's like a,
自らが招いた呪いを解く
they're bringing
ふりをして
conspiracy theory
こ
to
の
life.
国を牛耳っていたのだ。
They've ruled this country of deceits, claiming to lift the curse they were perpetrating. Isn't that you? Is that you? Were you the ones doing that?
実際研究所では一部のものしか知らされていない非人道的な実験も行われていたらしい。かわいそうに実験体となった者は皆死んだ。
This is such BS.
つまり我々が年老いる前に命を散らすのも感情が
And it's all the
欠落
fault
した
of
不自然な
Scien
生命体に
Brofis,
転生せざるを得
right?
ないのも全てはブロフィワーズ家のせいだ。
The groceries I bought today were moldy. It's all the fault of Scien Brofis. I tripped on the pebble. It's the fault of Scien Brofis. That's what I'm hearing. This is being heard by the citizens of the country. Even a child could easily predict the chaos to follow. Scien, we need to escape now. Before I could tug on his sleeve, Donut and some researchers appeared. Of course. I'm sure Donut will be able to prove that Scien is innocent.
シアンブロフィワーズ、あなたを永久的に研究所から追放します。
You're hereby exiled from the Institute indefinitely.
また、現国王からのことづけです。王族殺しの大罪人として、あなたの処刑が決まりました。
The king has sent us his decree. You've been sentenced to death for killing a member of the royal family. Huh? It's like, well, this is troubling. Science's expression didn't change, even after hearing his death sentence. The royal guard slowly closed upon us, hearing the sentence from Donuts. Yves and Hugo drew their swords, but they were outnumbered in a confined space. Seeing them protect me and Scien, a shudder fell upon Donut's face.
すみません、シアンさん。さすがに僕も王族の命令には逆らえないんです。
Sorry, Scien. Even I can't go against the royal family's decree.
それに、あなたがいなくなれば、感情メモリーの研究を進めることができる。
And I
この
can
機
move
会を逃す
forward.
なんてできません。
I can move forward with my research on memory retention. This is an unmissable opportunity.
だから、僕は僕のために、あなたをトップから引きずり下ろします。
So I need to track you down from the top for my own sake. Could you? Wouldn't it just be easier to work with Scien to take down the royal family? Hmm?
延命だけを目的としたリライバーなんてもういりません。これからはれっきとした人間を作るために尽力します。
And then he could take the seat of the royal family. Reveal, haha, I'm actually of royalty. Hi, I'll take a rope. Then, reveal the whole evil plans of the royal family to, get the people on his side. And then they would accept him as a new king. Whether he would do the same thing as he did before or not, that I cannot say, but I feel like it would be easier than this.
そうか。だが、俺の命はやれないな。
That doesn't mean you can kill me.
え？
A large blade hovered in front of my face. It was one of the swords that Scien kicked out of the hands of one of the soldiers. Donuts and the rest looked on in shock, not understanding what happened in that moment.
ヒューゴ！ああ、わかってる。
The sword fell to the floor with a clang that signaled our chance to escape. Yves and Hugo used the blunt ends of their sword to knock the soldiers out cold.
行くぞ、雑用係。
Let's go, maid! Okay. Question, what idiot soldier decided to try to kill us? And how would that help them? I did not think that through. We quickly ran through the opening. It would be easy if we could simply keep running to the exit, but Seeing everyone making a run for it, some of the soldiers began to make chase.
仕方ない。
Yeah, like I don't see the logic in that. So you had him there. You had him there. He didn't seem to be resisting. Then one of the soldiers decided to go and try to kill one of his staff. And they thought that, oh, he won't do anything. That won't how would it help? What did she do? How was she part of this? She never said anything during that whole thing. The soldiers were blown back after a large explosion. It is weird. White smoke began to rise, hiding us from their view. Were those explosives?
いざという時のために用意しておいたが、まさかこんな形で役に立つとはな。
I had them prepared just in case, but I never expected them to be so handy.
おいおい、よかったのか？あんな派手な爆発だと研究機材とか中にいた奴らがやばいんじゃ。
You sure about that? A flashy explosion like that could knock out the equipment and stuff too.
投げたのは研究室の前だ。よほど運が悪くない限り大丈夫だろう。それより
I was
今のう
kind
ち
of
に逃げ
thinking
るぞ。
that too. It's a less where his actually is an explosion, Anko's is just a smoke that comes from it. But I was gonna say they're quite similar. Maybe Anko and Future, I guess. Future past, Future probably stole the recipe to this and you know, made it his own and used it. Okay. With Scien's motion, we quickly escape from the chaos of the laboratory. Scien, you forgot to let go of the flower petals. You forgot to throw the flower petals. A number of soldiers did attack us along the way, but Yves and Hugo mowed them down easily. We finally reached the back entrance. Just as we thought we made it. In the confusion and clamor of the facility, we could hear strangely clear footsteps. Coming into view was... What? A person we thought was dead. Burrow appeared in front of us like a ghost.
なんでこいつがここに？あの時
He
死んだ
never
んじゃなか
dies.
ったのか？
That's it. That's what happens. He never dies. I bet it actually feels like that. The only thing hanging is the dead body he just bowed down.
わからない。でも戦いを避けては通れなさそうだな。
Seriously, in game, he keeps coming back.
後ろからもいつ追って
Though
く
they're
るか
probably like, when does he die?
Yeah,
Can he even die? There's no telling when we'll get caught from behind. We can't avoid him.
雑用係。お前は巻き込まれないように下がっていろ。
Maid, step back so you don't get hurt. Okay. Immediately. I like the way they do the action movements in the game. Before I could even see them preparing for battle, Baroque leapt into attack. Yes, and not in a romantic way. Lucas, he'll steal your heart. Literally. That's the slogan for him. Yves barely stopped a strike from above. But Barreau was so powerful that Yves only sliced his weapon away. Using the opportunity, Scien leapt high into the air and dropped his heel, but he missed the mark. Hugo joined in the fray, but even the three of them were unable to get past Barreau's spinning halberd.
こいつやっぱり強すぎる。
Damn it, he's way too strong.
こうなったらもう一度これを使うしかないな。
I suppose I need to use these again. Scien took out the orbs he had, so that only we could see them.
それ聞きますかね。
You think they work?
煙幕代わりにはなるだろう。黙って一旦下がれ。
At least it gives us cover. Now shut up and move back. With Scien's voice, the two quickly moved back, and then the explosives flew. The entire hallway was filled with smoke. The attack must have been unexpected, as Barreau's frail body was taken off balance. Frail? What frail body? The three of them moved in using the opportunity butts. Barreau, covered in dust and soot, quickly raised his halberd before they could charge in and swung it straight to the floor in front. The floor seemed to shriek in pain, perhaps aided by the impact of the explosion. No! Before I could scream, the floor crumbled. Good job, Lucas. A huge gaping hole appeared in its place, and sucked in the debris to its depths.
危ない!
It was close. Yves and Hugo were able to leap back, out of the hole's reach. Scien tried to do the same, but Barreau wouldn't let that happen. As he fell, he quickly grabbed onto Scien's ankle to drag him down. Scien's body leaned toward the hole. Scien, grab my hand! He looked at me as I reached out toward him and...
行け。
Go. Leave me behind. Save yourselves. He refused to take hold of my hand. He fell into darkness with Barreau. Scien! Scien! I looked down into the hole, but it was so dark I couldn't see anything.
まずいな。どうやらブローもシアンさんを狙っているみたいだ。
This is bad. It looks like Barreau was after Scien too. We need to go and save him.
わかってる。どうやら地下に落ちてったみたいだな。迂回する時間はねえし。
I hear ya. Seems like they fell down pretty deep. Not like we have to find a way. Not like we have time to find a way down.
ここから降りていくしかないかな。ヒューゴ、ロープは持っているよね。それを使おう。
Guess we need to go down from here, Hugo. You have some rope on you, right? Let's use that. Let's use the convenient rope you have on you.
ああ、わかった。
Where was that rope when when the hole in the front of the institute appeared and all the people got dragged down into the crevice? Where was that rope then? He just casually put a rope in his pocket this morning. I might need this.
ああ、まあ、難しいかもな。
He had a feeling. He had a feeling something would happen. I understood well enough that I might actually be a burden. Even so,
俺と共にいたいからと言えばいい。
Say that you want to be with me.
簡単に言えば、お前は俺に情を抱いているのだろう。
Just tell me you have feelings for me. I couldn't leave Scien behind and run to safety without telling him my answer. I think I understand why they brought it back this far for the Salvation End. Because it would be necessary for Scien to discover this tunnel here. Which the only way he discovered it in the first place was because of the whole Burrow attack thing. But this tunnel plays a vital part in his route, so he need to find it some way. So I guess that makes sense why we seem to be so far back in the story. For it to, you know, get to his salvation route. For the route to change. I never realized the last option was this far back. It seemed like I was able to somehow avoid death from that fall. Instead, I fell into a strange colored liquid. At least I think it was the last one. Let me look at the thing. Hit the guide. I think it is. Weird. I never realized that. My clothes are wet, but fortunately my bones weren't broken.
ブローはいないな。
Burrow
落下
isn't
の衝
around.
撃でどこかに吹っ飛んでいったか。
Perhaps he fell somewhere else during the fall.
しかし、ここはどこだ？
Now then, where am I? I knew it must be somewhere under the institutes. Even so, I wasn't aware of this place.
なんだここは。研究所にこんな施設があったなんて知らないぞ。
Should be around when everyone's in the hideouts after Adolf was... Oh, is it? For some reason it felt like it was before Adolf was killed. It's been a while since I read his route, so... my order of events might be wrong. Okay, okay.
それにこの機材、以前廃棄処分したものだな。
Poor
これ単
Adolf.
体だと機能しないはずだが。
This device, it's one that I discarded before. It's missing the parts it needs to work.
ということは、どこかに部品を横流しされたのか。
Which means the parts must have been reused for something. It seems I need to investigate this once I regain control of the institutes. As I thought on my next steps, I heard a sound. A sound of someone splashing through the strange liquid. It's like, hey,
やはり無傷か。
without even a scratch. After confirming my existence, Burrow readied his halberd. I didn't have any more explosives on me.
相手は獲物を持っている上に、こちらは丸腰。
He has his trusted weapon. Well, I'm unarmed.
どこまで持つかはわからないが、やるしかないか。
I'm not sure how long I'll last, but I suppose I don't have a choice. I slowly got into position against the monster looming in front of me. Going down the hole using the rope was a lot more strenuous than we thought. Oops. I always do that. It It took 10 or so minutes to finally get down to the bottom of the hole. I was never good at the whole rope climbing in like gym class. I could barely even climb up it, so I'm not sure how I would climb down if I could barely even climb up. And they did that for like, what did they say, 10 minutes? Yeah, 10 minutes. Cerez actually has muscle on her arms. She's been working out. First thing I felt when touching the ground wasn't dirt, but something cold.
水の中に瓦礫が散らばっているから足元に気をつけて。
The debris is littered in the water, so be careful where you step. Okay. A large passage with strange water flowing through it. I didn't recall Scien ever telling me such a place existed under the Institute. I looked around, but Scien was nowhere in sight. For a girl that's very domestic, she sounds ripped. It's like all this time, Cerez would have been, It's like all this time, they didn't have to protect her. She could, take Lucas one-on-one. Now how much of a twist would that be? Where could Scien and Bro have gone?
ここに落ちたのは間違いないんだけどね。戦いの形跡もちょっとあるし。
Yes. It's stronger than you think you are, Cerez. In multiple ways. I'm sure this is where they fell. There's a trace of them fighting too.
おい、こっちに血痕が残ってるぞ。割と新しいものだから二人のうちのどちらかだと思うが。
Hey, there's blood marks here. They seem fresh, so I think one of them belongs to... It belongs to one of them. Hugo whipped his hand and called out to us out after going deeper into the passage to investigate. Which means Scien is that way. We looked at each other and followed the blood marks on the wall, through this place that looked like the inside of a human body. My clothes were drenched and heavy. Even so, I did my best to keep moving so that I could find him. He's okay. Scien said he fended off assassins before, so I'm sure he'll be fine, even against Burrow. I kept convincing myself as I ran, and just as I turned the corner, the water flowed below us, turned a reddish brown. I was really scared here the first time. In the middle of the area was someone staring silently, standing in the darkness. Burrow. The halberd in his hand was painted crimson. And the owner of blood who was down in front of him was... Scien?
遅かったか。
Too late. With my scream, Yves and Hugo readied their swords. Yves quickly glanced at Hugo, then made the first move. Sensing danger, Barreau swiftly swung his weapon behind him. Yves crouched to somehow avoid a slash that would have sliced him in two. A powerful gust from the slash ran through the passage, and a part of the string holding Yves' mask tore from the halberd. Yves broke into a cold sweat, knowing he was close to death. But he continued his assault, planting his left leg and spinning his body with his sword in hand. Get him! Using the momentum, he landed a powerful blow. Barreau must not have expected such an attack from Yves, whose looks were deceiving. Barreau blocked the attack with his halberd, but the sword struck so hard that he was blown back quite a bit. I finally came to my senses, seeing them exchange their flurry of attacks that rocked the area. I have to get to Scien now. Hugo and I quickly headed to Scien and shook him awake. I quickly looked at his face, but it was completely pale and lifeless. I looked at his abdomen and saw a huge wound with blood pouring out. I quickly used both my hands to try to stop the bleeding, but it wasn't doing much. Scien! Scien! He's alive! We need to get you out of here and... Yves was blown against the wall, which crumbled to pieces in the impact.
Ibu!
Go save your husband. Yves must have been knocked unconscious, as there was no movement underneath the wall rubble. No longer concerned about Yves, Barreau began his stride forward toward us. He repositioned his halberd and was ready to strike.
後ろに下がってろ。俺が時間を稼ぐから、なんとかそいつと逃げて。
To back up, I'll buy some time, so you try to get him out of here. A brace. In a blink of an eye, Barreau sped past Hugo. Lucas was like, nah, I don't care about you. Get out of here. I'd feel kind of insulted. Without a chance to prepare myself, he quickly closed in on me and Scien. Nothing stood in Barreau's way now. He raised his halberd high with the intent of cleaving us in two, and... Scien! I instinctively embraced Scien and closed my eyes. After all, I didn't have the courage to see myself being cut in two. No pain and no heat. Instead, I heard the clanging of metal. I slowly opened my eyes to discover where do you find that, honey? I do actually really like the CG.
俺の雑用係に何をする?
What are you doing to my maid? He awoke and blocked the destructive halberd. Scien.
それ以外の何に見える？
Who else do you think I am? It is. He was alive. You're alive. Scien, you're alive.
勝手に殺すな。まあ、それも時間の問題だが。
It was never dead. Then again, it's only a matter of time.
He's just sleeping. He was just taking a nap. It's okay.
The iron rod he used to block the attack? There was no chance he could remain unscathed from Barrow's colossal power. Which, if that wasn't conveniently lying there next to him, he would have been screwed. So thank you, convenience. Scien's bones creaked and let out a horrible wail. But for some reason, Barrow's arms relaxed slightly after Scien protected me. As if in unison. An inorganic mechanical sound, unfitting of the situation, began to play. I wondered why it was coming from Yu's chest when he was knocked out cold. Somehow, the sound did wonders. Everyone here, even Barrow, was fixated on the sound, not moving a muscle. And then...
助けてくれ！シスターサロメの養護施設が！
So we are past that. Oh gosh. Okay. Alright, let's vote here and now. Is Adolf gonna die this round? Or will he live? See, I knew we were quite far back. Because yeah, I remember Went's orphanage instance, to Adolf's house, to Scien recovering from his wounds, to the institutes. So I'm like, wait, where does that end? I was trying to puzzle where this would be put in if it was after the orphanage. So I'm like, Because like I said, it has been a while. But damn it. Corp A! You can do it! Survive! Live until we get there! The curtains of despair rose. Not from the screams of humans, but a mechanical sound. Will everyone die again? Because they could still do that. I mean, it wouldn't... They could! Even though it's supposed to be a happy end, but...
感情が欠落した不自然な生命体に転生せざるを得ないのも全てはブロフィワーズ
Salome and the children at the orphanage were listening to the voice coming from the speaker, completely stunned.
あの男が全ての元凶
He's the source of everything?
ねえマム、あのおじちゃん悪い人だったの？
Is he a bad person?
意地悪なおじちゃんだったけど、私が壊した腕飾りのこと許してくれたのに。
He was a meanie, but he didn't get mad when I broke his bracelets.
そうね。一つだけ言えるとしたら、
Gordy.
あのおじちゃんは
Will
悪
she
人
live
で
at
は
least?
あるけど、今の放送で言っていたようなことはしてないわ。
Let me see. The only thing I can say right now is that he is a bad person. but he would never do what you just heard.
やっぱそうだよね。よかった。
I knew it. That's good to hear.
どうしてそんなにあのおじちゃんのことを気にするの？
Why are you so worried about him?
だって私まだおじちゃんに腕飾りのことごめんなさいしてないもん。私が悪かったのに。
She's a good kid. Because I haven't said sorry for breaking his bracelets, even though it was my fault.
おじちゃんが悪い人だったら捕まっちゃうでしょ。そしたらごめんなさいできなくなっちゃうから。
If he's a bad guy, that means he's gonna get caught, right? Then I won't be able to say sorry anymore.
おじちゃん大丈夫かな。
I hope he's gonna be alright.
マム、みんな無事か？
Mother, is everything okay? Suddenly, Adolf came in with a serious look on his face. Next to him were members of the corps.
アドルフお兄ちゃんおかえりなさい。お仕事はもう終わったの？
Hey there, Adolf. Oh, you didn't work already?
ああ、よかった。この辺りはまだ落ち着いてるようだな。
Yeah, and glad to see things look okay around here.
さっきの放送を聞いていたけれど、あの男どんな揉め事を起こしたのかしら。
I heard the news through the speakers. What kind of trouble did that man cause this time?
変な抗議活動は最近ずっとあったけど、王族にまであんな風に言われるなんて。
Yeah, if he could have been done with work already. Maybe he's here, but...
研究所で何かあったのかもしれない。最近内部でも分裂が起こってるしな。
You know, I have this feeling that if anyone dies, it's probably gonna be Salome. I'm guessing something happened at the Institute. They have internal politics brewing. Yes, Adolf, get under, hide. There's a closet around here somewhere. I mean, you could probably stuff yourself in the oven. I wouldn't recommend it, but you probably could. I mean, you sleep in a fireplace, so.
アドルフ、なぜあなたがそんなことを知っているの？
Adolf, can I ask how you know that? It's like, that definitely is a fireplace. I think that, who constructed that house?
あ、いや、それは。
Well... Fuck. Okay, no one say anything. Let's pretend there's no one here. We have all left for today for an outing.
シスターサロメが経営する養護施設はここか。
If we don't say anything, they won't find us. Right? Is this the orphanage of Sister Salome manages? A group of royal guard soldiers barged in the orphanage. Should I lock the door? Standing behind them was a man with an appearance and attire reminiscent of the royal family. Upon seeing them enter, Adolf and the corpse members moved in front of Salome and the girl.
サロメは確かに私ですが、何用でしょうか？
I am Salome. Why have you come here? Salome did her best to respond resolutely, as Adolf and the others protected her. The man standing in the back suddenly glared at Salome.
この施設に住む者が死神と共謀していることが判明した。
We learned you're defending and conspiring with the one known as Death.
よって見せしめとしてこれよりそなたたちを粛清する。
As such, we will be purging this facility as punishment.
粛清？死神と共謀って一体どういうこと？
Purging? What do you mean by conspiring with Death?
そなたたちがかつてシアン・ブロヒワーズと共謀しクーネにて騒ぎを起こしたことは知っている。我らの目を欺こうとしたようだが通用せぬぞ。
We know those here once worked with Scien Brofis and caused problems in Colwyn. It's no use trying to make excuses now.
ブローの件なら変死事件の謎を追うためにしたことだ。
If you're referring to Barreau, it was discovered the truth behind the deaths.
ではこの施設の娘や自警団がシアン・ブロヒワーズの護衛をしていることはどう説明する？
And how do you explain that the fact that the girl who lives here along with the corpse has provided support to Scien Brofis?
それこそそなたたちが共謀している証拠ではないのか？
That is proof that you people have been working in cooperation with him. It's not enough for you to just like get him.
あの
Why are you going after an orphanage?
どういうことなの？アドルフ。
You were providing supports? What is he talking about, Adolf?
それは
I'm sorry, Mom, we fucked up.
とにかくそなたたちとこれ以上話すことはない。
In any case, there is nothing more to say.
この国の本当の支配者は誰なのか。それをそなたたちの命をもってして国民へと知らしめるのだ。
Yes, we're ruled with fear. It'll make us and make them love us. They'll totally follow us if we rule with fear. And destroy an orphanage. Surely no one will retaliate. With that, the royal guard drew their swords and stood ready to attack.
マム、お前らさっさと逃げろ。
Mother, everyone, hurry, run! The children made a run for it, with Adolf and the others guarding their escape. Yes! But Salome would not move a step away from Adolf.
マム、早く逃げろ。
Mother, hurry up and...
何よそれ。そんな説明だけで納得しろというの？私たちの命が奪われるというのに？
Why is this happening? You expect me to just accept that truth? When our lives are in danger?
何の罪もない民を苦しめる。この国に救う寄生虫が偉そうに。
How dare you festering grubs say that? When you're the ones harming the innocent.
お前らの方がよほど死神だろう。
You all are the true manifestation of death.
おい。
貴様、よくも国家反逆罪として粛清してくれるわ。
Lucas, run! Please, protect them. Maybe we're running like it's speed of light to get over here this time? I'm trying to figure out how can they all live? How dare you? I'll have you executed for slander and treason. The royal drew his sword after hearing Salome's statement and... Yeah, really, like I'm fiercely gripping my Switch controller. I'm nervous. After that, we met up with Mathis and Jean, who took us by car to the orphanage. We wanted to see what was really happening after Yves received a message through his transmitter that the orphanage was in danger.
皆さん、体は大丈夫ですか？傷だらけですけど。
Is everyone alright? You're all pretty bruised.
一応生きてる。
I'm alive at least.
右に同じだ。
Same here. We have to get you two patched up once we get to the orphanage, since I can only do so much inside the car.
できる状況ならいいんだがな。
If only that were possible. An ominous anxiety swirled in my mind as I continued tending to everyone's wounds. Are we at least driving, please? Mathis, get in the front seats. That message. Something must have happened to Mother and the children. Please be safe.
それにしてもまさかブローが生きていたなんてさすがに驚いたよ。
I have to admit, I'm totally surprised that Barreau was still alive. I never expected to hear that name again. Mathis's expression went stern. Since we were in his car, we explained to Mathis and Jean what happened at the Institute. We explained that Scien was blamed as death, and that we were attacked by Barreau.
でもなんでブローは俺たちを逃がしてくれたんだろうな。途中から明らかに様子がおかしかったが。
Still, I wonder why Barreau actually lets go. Something didn't feel right.
それもわからないけどあの地下通路が海辺につながっているのには驚いたよ。
I'm not sure why either. I'm actually surprised that this passage was connected to the beach. After the message from the transmitter, we continued through this passage and ended up at the beach near the Lycris field. It was there that we happened upon Jean. Why the fuck were you there?
あれには俺も驚きました。あ、そうそう。その時にこんなものを拾いましたよ。
I was rather surprised myself. Oh, that's right. I found this while I was there. Jean passed us some papers as he steered the car with one hand. It looked like it was a newspaper, but this one had fewer pages. Almost like an extra edition. Huh? It's about you, Scien. It not only went on about how Scien was deaf, it described the horrific conditions of the laboratory and the hideous monster kept in the underground laboratory. What the? It has a bunch of stuff that isn't even true.
シアンさん、このことについて心当たりはありますか？
Scien, are you aware of some of these claims?
実験室については事実だが、おぞましい怪物とかいうのは知らんな。
The
そも
experiments
そ
are
も地下
true,
施設があることすら初めて知った。
but not the hideous monster parts. I don't even know of an underground laboratory. I think they found Capuchin's hideouts.
なるほど。
That's the only place I can think of hideous monsters living. Being. You know what he does with his stuff. Freak.
きっと王家としてはシアン様に全てを押し付けたいんでしょうね。先ほどの放送といい、そうとしか考えられません。
I assume the royal family is trying to pin all the blame on Scien. I believe it's true based on the announcement earlier.
だから何も知らない人がこれを読んだら、
So if an ordinary citizen reads this,
全てシアンさんの仕業だと思うだろうな。
they'll think it's true and blame Scien. That's horrible. However, Scien didn't show any concern at all.
とにかくまずは施設だ。あの女たちの安否を確かめるぞ。
In any case, the orphanage comes first. Let's see if that woman and her brats are safe. He then slowly closed his eyes. Step on it, step on the gas, step on the gas. Fuck. 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 We arrived at the orphanage to discover a lot of other cars parked outside. Mother, everyone! I couldn't complete my sentence. No! The place I called home. The warm home that was a symbol of peace. It was now painted red.
これは
It can't be. No. No, no! The children lying face down on the floor couldn't be real. Don't! Fuck. Fuck. I quickly embraced one of the girls in a pool of blood. Just hang in there. It's Sis, and see, the meanie is here too. The girl I embraced was the same girl who came to me to clean Scien's room. She was so cute with how her expressions constantly changed. But now her face looked hollow, and her cute voice was silent. It wasn't just her. The living, breathing children I had once known were dead in the garden, and the smell of fresh blood permeated the air. My mother, Adolf, our family.
逃げようとしたところをやられたという感じですね。
It seems they struck during their escape.
シスターと自警団のメンバーがいないな。通信機で連絡を取ってくれたのは自警団のやつだったよな。
I don't see the sister or any of the corpse. But wasn't it one of our guys who called through the transmitter?
無事な人がいるかもしれない。この衛兵たちも見当たらないし、まだこの中にいるかも。
Yeah, meaning they might have made it out alive. But I don't see the royal guard, so maybe we can look.
やめて、その子には手を出さないで。
Stop! Don't you dare touch him! I heard a voice like a scream coming from inside.
今の声は
That voice. Mother! Don't slice the salami! Or the apple! Adolf, apple. Apple's closest I can think of. I wouldn't lose anyone else. I will protect my family with my life.
王家を侮辱する者に鉄槌を
Judgment to those who spit upon the royal family. The rage and resolve weren't enough. Oh. You bitch! And all hope was lost on this day. I need a cheer. This place sucks. You bastards! I'll slay you all. I didn't understand the scene unfolding before my eyes. Two things I did know. One, Adolf's body was pinned to the floor by some mean men with his hands tied behind his back. Two, A sword was swung down onto his neck. His head rolled. His head, which was on his body just moments before, spewed blood as it rolled to my feet. Adolf? I slowly went down to my knees to pick up my dear brother. I'm really glad they didn't have a CG for this. They could have. It would have been visually effective. That's also why I'm happy they didn't, because it would have been visually effective. You guys suck. What just happened? It would. But you know, they describe it well enough that I can see it in my head. So who needs a CG when they have good descriptions? I embraced his head and looked around the orphanage to see blood all over the place. Yes, good job, writers. Great job. I saw a number of corpse members dead, with stab wounds all over their bodies. I assumed the person who was trying to contact us was among the dead now.
そんなアドルフ。おい、嘘だろ。
Hey, come on, you gotta be kidding. Yves and Hugo. I was finally brought back to reality by the heartbroken voices of Adolf's friends. He was dead. Adolf was dead. He was decapitated. He was killed. Sister Salome screamed with Cerez as she was restrained at the back of the room by the soldiers. Lucas, get in here faster!
この男、そなたを人質にした途端、抵抗すらしなくなったな。
Pathetic. He actually stopped fighting as soon as we took you hostage.
サロメよ。この男を殺したのは我らではない。王族たる我に暴言を吐いたそなただ。
Salome, we're not the ones who killed him. It was you for spewing blasphemy at the royal family. She is the royal family, but you assholes.
ふざけるな。
How dare you?
お前たちは私からまた奪うのか。大事な家族を、大切な人を。
Like for real. This poor woman. I mean, we know Donuts lied, but she doesn't know that. You people are gonna steal from me again? My dear family? My precious? My precious. Salome's body shook with rage as she struggled to free herself from the royal guard. But she was no match for the group of soldiers pushing her to the floor against their weights.
閣下、この女はどうしますか?
Oh, they know!
ご要望の通り、
Oh, no,
特
mind.
等席で男が殺されるところを見せてやりましたが。
Your Highness, what shall we do with her? As you commanded, we made sure she had a clear view of that man being killed.
そうだな。もう用はないから処分しておけ。そなたたちの好きにして構わん。
I have no use for her anymore. So do what you want.
ただ、新たな客が来てくれたようだな。しかも、死神までご来訪くださるとは。そちらも丁重にもてなすように。
That said, it looks like we have guests. And a special visit by death. Take good care of them for me. The royal and his men were gloating. Likely because they had Salome as hostage. It seemed to be working as Yves and Hugo had their swords drawn but were unmoving. Ceres was even in a war state. Adolf. Her foster brother's sudden death left her in a daze, motionless. Adolf's hollow eyes were looking up at Ceres. Insert CG. In pain. Lies. This can't be true. Adolf is always by my side. He's a strong person.
撤退するぞ。
Let's retreat. Ceres continued to reject reality, as Scien lifted her with Adolf's head up into his arms.
しかし、それではシスターが。
What about the sister?
言っておくが、それ以上こちらに近づいたら、この女も命はないぞ。
Let me warn you, this woman will die the moment you take a step closer. Yay! A huge pole flew through the window and struck one of the soldiers holding down Salome. The pole turned out to be a halberd. You know, before we knew all the circumstances, this is the one time I was really happy to see him arrive. The weapon that couldn't be lifted by several men completely crushed the soldier's body into a messy, bloody mess.
なんだこれは。
What the?
このハルバード、まさか。
Calm down, baby. It's okay. Let it go this once. The halberd. It can't be. Yeah, it really does. It really helps to revisit it, to, you know, put all the pieces together. Just as Mathis yelled. Which I actually really like that. I like games and shows where they put the story in a way that it makes you want to go back from the beginning to, you know, see the pieces put themselves together and see the evidence that you didn't see, that you never noticed before. See all the little connections. I like when shows and books and games do that. Barreau crashed through the ceiling and landed in the room. He grabbed the halberd stuck in the middle of the pool of blood and quickly rent another soldier in two.
Sister, こっちへ。
Sister, over here! When she was released by her captors, Hugo quickly lifted Salome into his arms. Scien and the others slowly moved back to the entrance. As for Barreau, he turned and pointed his halberd at the man and the soldiers.
絶対だ。
Leave them! They didn't have the strength or the means to fight such formidable foe, and quickly made haste to flee the scene. Scien and the others looked on as the royal and his soldiers left. Go after them! Lucas, go after them! In Scien's arms. Why? Why is this happening? Ceres was holding Adolf's head and repeating the same words over and over again in a trembling voice. Scien was quietly looking at her, without any expression. Soon after, Barreau quietly took his leave. Scien and the others stood in the orphanage, dominated by the smell of blood. This wasn't a dream. The lives that were taken would not return. Not even through the miracle of God. I was hoping it would be a different outcome, but her Adolf and Anko really can't get a break. Yeah, fun times. We love this. The best part of the game.
もうすぐ死ぬのか。悲願を叶えられぬまま、こんな場所で。苦しい。あなたのことだけが心残りだ。
I am too.
会いたいよ。母上。
I want to see you, mother. To whose perspective would that have been? Donut or Adolf? I don't know. The cleanup at the Institute went much faster than expected.
ダハトさん、爆弾によって破壊された扉の修繕が完了しました。
Donut, the doors that were broken from the explosions have been fixed.
うわ、ありがとうございます。ちなみに廊下に開いた大穴はどうです？地下まで貫通していたみたいですけど。
Thank you so much. How about that gaping hole in the hallway? Seems like it goes pretty deep.
そこは工事の予定を入れておきました。今は立ち入り禁止にして閉鎖しています。
Yep.
通路は迂回すれば問題ないかと。
Oh yeah, we're well, good thing you just missed the really bad part. Also, hi Farah, good to see you. Been a while. We are on the salvation routes. You did just miss the bad part of the salvation route, but it should be good from here on out. It should be good from here on out, except for the part where Salome is holding the head. Okay. Mostly good from here on out. With construction schedule for that. The area is currently off limits, but there are other routes that can be used. Great times. We love them.
それと、幸い研究設備は爆発に巻き込まれなかったので、研究は問題なく続けられるかと思います。
It also seems the devices in the lab itself weren't damaged by the explosions, so we can continue our research with no issue.
そう、ならよかったです。まあ、シアンさんならそこに被害を与えることはないだろうと思ってましたけど。
Yeah. Well, great news. Then again, I doubt Scien would have put them at risk anyway.
ああ、そうそう。シアンさんがしていた研究なんですけど、資料をすべて僕に回してくれませんか？
Oh yeah, before I forget, can you bring me all the papers Scien was working on?
え？はい。
でもダハトさんの研究には必要ないんじゃ。
Oh, the fanfic. You almost finished the prologue arc? Oh, nice. I'll check it out. You've been at that for a while, haven't you?
所長として元研究員の仕事をチェックするのは当然のことですよ。
Oh, come on. As director, I need to review all the work. Even those done by former researchers.
今は必要ないかもですけど、僕たちの研究に活用できるかもしれません。研究に無駄なことなんて何もないんですよ。
I may not need them now, but it's possible we'll find something useful for our own work. Can't let research go to waste, you know? Wonder if he's gonna find something about
確かに
Salome.
その通りですね。すぐに回しますので少々お待ちください。
I have mixed feelings. I'm really disappointed in him. I liked him for the longest time. I swear, I was like, we can trust Donuts. We can trust Donut. He's a good guy. You know, proceeds to commit a bunch of, like, genocide. Yeah, we can't trust him. Yeah, it's a love and hate thing. Because, I mean, it wasn't out of absolute malice. I mean, I get where he was coming from. It wasn't right, but I get it. Although really, he should have just been happy that they had a reunion instead of expecting more in that one part. I mean, if I found out my mother was alive, I would just be happy they're alive. Not that they still had their morals intact. Dona had become the new director of the institutes. It was now being looked up by the researchers working there. At the same time, there were others with their own motives for working with him.
新所長との調子はどうですかな?
Just go die in a hole over there. Sorry, that's mean, but no, just leave, go, leave. How are things, my dear new director? The royal family member appeared with the royal guard. He smiled the moment he saw Donut go away.
ああ、どうも。王族の方にお越しいただけるなんて光栄です。今日はご視察でしょうか?
Well, maybe it did go on. I just can't hear it here. It probably did. Maybe. Ah, hello. It's an honor to have the royal family pay us a visit. Are you here for inspections?
まあ、そのようなものだな。
I suppose you can call it that.
あ、
see if it does.
先日はご兄弟の命を救えなくて申し訳ございませんでした。
I'm very sorry I was unable to save your brother, His Majesty. My deepest condolences. I'm gonna check if it does work like this. Because I can't hear sound alerts when my headphones connected to the video capture. Now this would be good for how we've been feeling lately. Okay, so yeah.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine. You just can't get into it.
There we go. Now it's working. All right. we're gonna continue here. Now that I know that's working, let me know if it sounds weird now, though. Because there's a reason I usually have desktop audio, which allows the sound alerts to work off. Because sometimes it makes kind of like a double echo sound. So let me know if you notice that. And I'll turn it back off.
ああ、それなら気にすることはない。シアンを消す手伝いができたのだから、あいつだって本望だろう。
Don't worry about that anymore. I'm sure he'd be happy to know he helped get rid of Scien.
そうですか。
I see.
つまりあの王族の命が失われるのは予定通り。国内放送といい、新聞といい、随分と用意周到だな。
Which means his death was planned. Their immediate announcements and the newspaper extras make sense now.
新聞に書かれていたおぞましい怪物もシアンさんが作ったものじゃないのに勝手にそういうことにされちゃったし。
The hideous monster they mentioned wasn't one of Scien's creations, but he somehow made it into Scien's vault. The entire scheme must have been approved by the King Benoit's Riverpar. Donut was strangely impressed that he came up with such a plan despite being so stupid.
ところで、新所長の
kind of him
は
too, honestly.
どういう研究方針なのですかな。
Now then, may I ask what the new director has planned for this facility?
それはもちろん前々からご説明していた通り感情のメモリーに尽力できればと。
Huh? Why, of course. I believe I mentioned my plan to focus on emotions and expend memory.
僕たちは命の入れ物を作りたいのではなくてちゃんとした人間を作りたいので。
We want to create not a simple vessel to hold life, but rather true humans. The man took a deep breath. Donut expected him to say something along the lines of making stronger bodies to fight the curse instead of wasting resources, but...
素晴らしい。ぜひとも完成させていただきたい。
Wonderful, I look forward to your work. The man unexpectedly gave his full support to Donuts and...
我々王族もシアンが所長だった時以上に援助をすると約束しましょう。
The royal family will promise you greater support than when Scien was the director. Oh, you poor saps. You poor saps. He's gonna murder your asses. He'll find a way to overthrow you. He has actual reason to.
もちろん我々にも見返りをくれるととても嬉しいのだが。
Of course, we would be absolutely delighted if you could return the favor.
どうも。
Absolutely. Dana forced a smile on his face as a certain thought crossed his mind.
これ完全に僕に取り入ろうとしているよね。
This guy's already sucking up to me.
シアンさんの時はここまで露骨じゃなかったのに。
He wasn't this obvious when Scien was here.
舐められてるのかな。まあ見た目も若いし僕もこういう性格だからそう思われても仕方ないか。
Maybe he's underestimating me. Well, guess that can't be helped since I look young and my personality doesn't help.
あ、でも一言だけ言っておかなきゃ。
I better say this to him now.
それはそうと養護施設の一つを見せしめに潰したと聞きましたが、それは本当ですか？
By the way, I heard one of the orphanages was attacked as a warning to the public. Is that true?
ああ、シアンに協力した一派のことか。それだったらほとんど粛清したはずだ。
Oh, you mean the one that was supporting Scien? I believe that place has been purged.
肝心のシアンたちには逃げられてしまったが、奴らが捕まるのも時間の問題だろう。新所長殿が気にかける必要はない。
Scien and a few others made their escape, but it shouldn't take long to arrest them. You need to not worry, good director. But you killed Adolf!
そうですか。
Monsters. I see.
国民を殺したことに何の罪悪感も抱いていないんだ。
So he doesn't feel bad about civilians being
最
killed.
低。
What a low life. A grave sin had been committed that dragged Cerez and the others into turmoil.
でも今さら後には引けないよね。
Not that I can do anything about it now.
それにきっとシアンさんなら
And I bet Scien would. Donut firmly clenched his fist out of sight of the royal. He simply needed to finish what had been put into motion until the very end. Hello, Tro Barton. Good to see ya. Hope you've been good. Cerez certainly hasn't. I mean, if... Trauma. Oh no, it's not late. There's no late or earlier. Any time is on time. An old abandoned house located on the outskirts of the country. I couldn't seem to recall clearly why I was here. Poor girl.
シアンさん、容体はどうだ？結構出血してたみたいだが。
Scien, how do you feel? You're bleeding pretty badly.
今は問題ない。下手に動けば傷口が開くだろうが。
I'm fine now. Of course my wounds can still open. At the far end of the room was a large bed, and on it was Scien covered with bruises and wounds. I remembered he lost consciousness the moment he got here after taking a horrible beating from Bureau. He somehow survived, but it took a few hours for him to be able to talk like that again. As for the one who inflicted the wounds, Bureau had shown himself ever since.
ところで、黒土家の奴らはどうした？さっきから姿が見えないが。
By the way, where's the Claude family duo? I don't see them around.
彼らなら屋敷に返しました。あそこなら潜伏もできるでしょうし、食料も潤沢にあるみたいなので。
Good. They went back to the mansion. It seems to be able to hide with enough provisions to last for a while.
一応通信機も持たせてあるので、逐一連絡するようにはします。
I gave them a transmitter to use, so we're gonna keep in touch when possible.
生き残った自警団とも連絡だけは取り合うことにしてる。潜伏するにしても情報は欲しいからな。
We're also in contact with the corpse members who survived. We still need information, even while they're in hiding.
そうか。
I see. With their conversation over? Looks over. Yeah, what do you do? What do you do in this situation? What do you do when two traumatized women just saw their family member's head get cut off? Like, how do you react to that? How do you comfort them? Can you? What do you even say to that? A heavy silence filled the air. Everyone was looking at me and Mother. As for Mother, she was looking at the person she took from my arms and now cradled in hers. Beautiful, beautiful graphic image. Adolf.
嘘よ。あの子が死んだなんて嘘よ。嘘。
But he wasn't a person anymore. It was Adolf's head. Evidence of a tragedy that his family could no longer pretend was merely a nightmare. Mother and I, we were unable to move even a muscle. I know, it's so dark! This is what makes this route one of the darkest ones, I think. You know, aside from the whole massacre in itself. It also makes it incredibly sad. So he's really dead.
Ah.
Yeah. I can't train with him anymore. I just... Yves' CG and his route just flashed in my mind. Of him breaking down, clinging onto Ceres. I'm gonna cry. Hugo quietly patted Yves on the shoulder as he looked down at the floor. Everyone apart from Scien was unable to accept the sudden departure of someone they knew all too well. But it wasn't only Adolf who passed away in a way we didn't expect. I couldn't make their graves. The children, I left them all back at the orphanage. I couldn't even give them a single prayer. They're supposed to be my family! I recalled everything the moment I closed my eyes. The children lying dead everywhere, and the members of the corps who tried to protect them. The pungent smell of blood, and Adolf's body, forced down to the floor. Adolf's head, rolling to my feet upon his decapitation. So why? Why can't I shed even a single tear? My eyes were completely dry, and I hadn't been blinking much as I gazed into the air. I felt nothing. Why? Was it because I was so used to spreading misfortune and seeing death? I don't want to be strong like that. I don't want my strength. So God, please return Adolf and the others to me. I was unable to cry with Mother, even when my dear foster brother and the rest of my family died. I was such a cold person.
いい加減にしろ。
Stop it already. I raised my head a bit, hearing his firm voice. I looked at the bed to discover Scien with his back straight up, looking down at us slumped in our seats.
泣き言を言う前にそいつの首を埋めてやった方がいいと思うがな。
If you have time to feel sorry, you should hurry and give that head a proper burial.
そのままだと腐るぞ。
He's gonna rot at this rate. You're probably better to bury him now, rather than when he looks very unlike he did in life. If only things were different. And Adolf at this point had actually been like experimented on and gained the powers that Anko has. Then it wouldn't matter if his head was cut off. He would just regain it back. It hurt a lot, but he'd gain it back and he would live. Right? Why can't we have something like that happen at least? So he'd at least be alive? There's no winning. Perhaps the others couldn't bear seeing him like that any longer.
そうだね。そうしてあげよ
He's right. We should do as he says.
シスター、辛いでしょうが。
Sister, I know it's tough, but...
嫌よ。
Hugo reached out to Mother, but she embraced Adolf's head as if to protect him.
アドルフはまだ死んでなんかいない。脳さえあればまだリライバーとして生き返れるかもしれないじゃない。
Adolf isn't dead yet. He can revive as a reliver if we still have his brain.
この子は私の大切な子よ。施設から唯一連れ出してあげられたのにまた殺すなんて。
He's my dear precious child. I cannot bear to kill the only one we could save from the orphanage. Technically, he's not the only one. Ceres is still there.
それにこんなところにアドルフを埋めるなんてかわいそうよ。この子が一人ぼっちになってしまう。
Don't you know how lonely Adolf would be if we bury him in a place like this? He's going to be all alone.
だからいや、絶対に嫌よ。
So no, I'm not letting him go.
お前も知っているだろう。一度失われてしまった命は戻らない。バックアップがなければ無理だ。
You already know. Once life is lost, it can never return. It is impossible without a backup.
でもアドルフは
Adolf is still...
シスター・サロメ、まだ綺麗な状態を保っている今、供養してあげてください。
Sister Salome? Please give him a proper burial, while he's still the way we remember him.
俺たちだって友人が見るに耐えない姿になっていくところは見たくないんです。
We don't want to see our friend turn into an unbearable state. She held tight to his head, but without any real strength. Yves gently reached out to Adolf to set him free from Mother's arms. Mother screamed to have him back, but upon looking into Adolf's eyes... I feel so bad for her! She fell to the floor in tears. Mother! Mother! I'm so sorry, Mother. I embraced her from behind and apologized repeatedly. It's my fault. This happened because I involved Adolf and everyone else at the orphanage. My selfish apology didn't reach anyone. It didn't matter whether Death, who spread misfortune, repented for her crimes. Those lives that had been lost would never ever return. A few hours later, Yves and the others buried Adolf in the garden. A burial without a tombstone. I just realized something! This is at Adolf's house, right? Or were we at Yves? I'm pretty sure we're at Adolf's. Wait, whose place are we at? But I just realized. I remember in Anko's flashback of his original life, he found out Ceres was buried in the garden in front of Kroon. And now Adolf is being buried in the garden in front of wherever they are. I think it's his house, or is it Yves? Yeah, the parallels! That's kind of crazy, but it's kind of, well, it's still really sad. And hers didn't have a tombstone either. So that's another parallel. We couldn't even give him a proper burial, since the tombstone might give away our location. I just hope I could take him back to the orphanage someday.
それじゃ、俺たちは隣の部屋で休んでいるから。何かあったらすぐに呼んで。
Yo. Right. Imagine if part of the good ends with Scien creates a time machine. And we go back to this part, and we save all the kids at the orphanage, and Adolf. That would be great! That would be great, we should do that! I know I'm smoking major copium right now, but I can hope, right? Fandisk, maybe? Yes? No? Well, we're gonna rest in the other room. Call us if you need anything. Okay. We can hope. That's all we can do. Yes, please, Fall. We need answers. We need our prayers answered. Mother fell unconscious after crying and screaming, and was taken to another room to rest. Yves and the others headed to each of their rooms, tired and burnt out. Scien must also have reached his limits, as he fell asleep again on the bed next to me. Considering our situation, we should really discuss our next course of action, but no one in the house had the strength or spirit left to do that. That applied to me as well. Without the strength to even move, I simply slouched in the corner of the room alone. At least slouch in the bed. On the floor were fresh bloodstains. I assumed they were from the blood that dripped from Adolf's neck. It's my fault. I killed Adolf. If only I didn't suggest we look after Scien. It's all my fault. I kept repeating the same words. I don't know. I can't think. What should I have done? My eyes were still dry, preventing me from shedding even a single tear. I wasn't sure how many hours had passed. It seemed I fell asleep. I quickly awoke and I heard a sound coming from nearby. I looked around from where I was sitting on the floor. Mickey opened his wounds. Scien was groaning in pain on the bed. The dim light in the room showed him gritting his teeth, with sweat rolling down his forehead. Scien! I slowly stood and looked at Scien's face. He looks like he's in pain. I want to help him. I hated how I could come to this thought despite everything that had happened. After all, I didn't have this desire to stay. If I didn't have this desire to stay by Scien's side, Adolf and everyone might not have died. It would be so much simpler if I could just curse him for what happened. If only I could hate him for dragging me into this mess. But... Scien... Oh, you're alright? No matter what, I couldn't leave this person with his straightforward eyes. Before I knew it, I was gently wiping Scien's forehead with my handkerchief. His eyelids twitched, then slowly opened.
Omae ka.
Yeah, it's me. Hi. Scien turned his head in my direction, struggling to fix his eyes upon me. His vivid reliever eyes showed a reflection of my golden hair in a different color. Like, I just need to say, the reliever eyes are so beautiful. Like, for real. I find them absolutely gorgeous. Your wounds might be swollen. If you don't mind, let me take a look. Scien left himself in my care without putting up a fight. I wondered if he was worried that I might harm him out of resentment. Then again, I didn't have the strength to feel such a powerful emotion right now. I slowly removed his sheets, then his clothes. Thinking his hairpin might get in the way, I removed that too. As expected, the bandages wrapped around his abdomen were wet with blood. I'm gonna remove the bandages so that's... I tried to deny what I was seeing. I expected his wounds from his fight against Sparrow to be bad. But what stood out even more than those wounds were the scars all over his body. Judging by the color of the skin around those scars, I assumed they were inflicted a long time ago. Scien, about these...
見にくいと思うが。
Yes. Actually, at least try. Scien must have noticed my confusion, as he chuckled cynically.
別に誰かにやられたわけじゃない。自分自身で必要だからやっただけだ。
You crazy man, but I still love you. I didn't get those from anyone. I wounded myself out of necessity. What do you mean?
新たなリライバーを作るための実験だ。
It was needed in order to create a new reliver.
死刑囚による実験で大体のデータが揃ったら、まずは自分の体を乗り換えて研究の結果を試していた。
I had the majority of the required data from my tests on the criminals, but I used my own body to see how I would fare.
だが今回は失敗だった。肺の強化をした結果、致命的な欠陥を抱えてしまった。
The result was a failure. I was able to strengthen my lungs, but it came with a serious defect. On his body? Which meant...
どこのバカがあのデータを勝手に使った？
Somebody used the data without permission.
どういうことだよ。
What are you talking about?
どうも何も言葉通りだ。研究所の誰かが試作段階のデータを使ってご親切にもこいつをリライバーにしたんだ。
Someone in the institute stole my prototype data and used it to turn him into a reliver.
あれは試作段階の上、副作用があるというのに。
Not only was it a prototype, but it also had known side effects. Don't tell me. The side effects you were talking about back then? He nodded to confirm my suspicions as I put new bandages on his body.
俺が今使っているのは肺機能を強化し、呪いの症状を通常より表面化しにくくしているものだ。
The body I'm using has modified lungs, which helps suppress the effects of the curse and keeps symptoms from surfacing.
だが、呼吸のたびに負担がかかり、かなりの激痛を伴う。それこそ軟弱な王族では耐えきれんほどの、な。
But every breath is a struggle that causes significant pain. It's more than those feeble royals can endure.
俺が常に平静を保っているのは、薬や手術で副作用を抑え込んでいたからだ。
I can maintain my strength through using drugs and performing operations on myself.
だからこそ自分以外には使われないよう隠匿していたんだが。
Which is the very reason I kept the data secret, so that others couldn't access it.
どこかのバカに見つかってこのざまだ。
But some idiot found it, and here we are now. So that's what happened. But why did you try it on yourself? Your experiments are painful, so why did you test the criminals instead? I knew saying so was morally repugnant, but my question was based off efficiency.
確かにそうするのが合理的なのだろ
That would be reasonable.
う。だが人を生かすという目標は俺が掲げたものだ。ならば払うべき代償は俺自身が真っ先に払うべきだろう。
I respect that. I do, I respect this. But my objective is to preserve human life. If so, I should be the first person to pay the price.
すべては俺のエゴなのだから。
Everything I do is out of egotism. He was right. He was working to create relivers that could fight the curse of death. Scien wasn't simply forcing others to sacrifice themselves.
まあ、今まさに無関係な死を生み出した身で、偉そうに言えることではないが。
In any case, I'm not a noble man given the meaningless deaths I caused. My thoughts froze when I heard the words he said. He must be referring to Adolf and the children. Suddenly, I felt emotions starting to flow from deep inside. along with a sense of sorrow that made me want to vomit, but my lips were shut so tight, I couldn't.
"恨み事を言わないのか?俺に関わりさえしなければ、お前の家族が処刑されることもなかっただろうに。
Not expressing a grudge against me? Your family wouldn't have died if you weren't connected to me. But I don't know.
はあ?
Scien, you said it yourself. I was the one who wanted to stay by your side. If that resulted in what happened, then it means I was the one who killed Adolf and the others. I thought I could always stand beside Scien's strength and determination to fight the curse. I thought that would make me forget that I caused Misfortuna's death. Which is why I don't have the right to hold a grudge against you, Scien. I like the CG too.
やめろ。
Stop. He suddenly pulled me by the arm. I was enveloped in the heat of his body from his fever. From above, I heard the voice of God, who didn't bend against even death.
結果を変えられないことで、あれこれ責任を問うのは非生産的だ。
It's pointless to spend all your energy
今後のことを考えろ。
ruminating on what cannot be changed. Think of your priorities. Priorities? I understood very well that he didn't say these calm words out of kindness. So why? I know what you're saying, but what am I? What are we gonna do? Why did I want to hear his answer so
決まっ
much?
ている。研究所の奪還だ。
Isn't it obvious? We need to take back the institutes.
俺は人類を救うための研究をやめるつもりはない。それに、売られた喧嘩は買う主義だ。
I have no intention of quitting my research to save humanity. And I'm always ready for a fight.
何より、そろそろ体を乗り換えないと寿命がまずい。今死ぬわけにはいかないからな。
Firstly, I need to change my body, since my current one won't last much longer. I can't die now. Scien sounded like he was in pain, but he still spoke with conviction. I knew it. He didn't even try to hint at trying to seek vengeance. But I wasn't the only one who lost everything. Why? Why are you putting in so much efforts and trying so hard? This country betrayed you. The people you were trying to save denounced you and are trying to blame you for everything. Haven't you done enough? I'm sure Donut would take over to revive our research. So please, you don't have to put up a fight anymore, Scien. I didn't want someone like him taken away from me. That was my earnest plea, but...
いや、ある。
No, I have to. His firm voice denied me my wish. Scien!
研究を打ち切るということは、すなわち人を救う権利を放棄することだ。
Abandoning my research means giving up my birthright to save the people.
世界を俯瞰する者としての責務を果たさないまま逃げるわけにはいかない。
I can't run away from my responsibility as the man who is able to observe this world.
それに諦めてしまえば
And if I give up,
いつか来るお前の死に対して何の対策もできなくなる。それだけはごめんだ。
it also means I'll be unable to fight your inevitable death one day. I can't let that happen. Huh? I raised my head a bit. Scien was looking straight at me with an expression devoid of any emotion.
俺はお前を独占したいと思う程度には気に入っている。あくまで雑用係としてだがな。
Of course, just for that. I like you to the extent that I want to keep you as my own. Of course, to take care of the daily chores.
だが今のお前は気に食わん。
But I don't like how you are now.
いつものようにうじうじとした情けない姿を俺に見せてみろ。
Show me the pathetic, worrisome side of you that I'm used to. The moment I heard his words, the tears I couldn't shed began flowing from my eyes. Uh-huh. Why am I hurriedly dried the tears that were coming out against my will. But I couldn't make them stop. What was I supposed to do? Especially since I didn't have the right to cry. Please don't look. He took my words in the opposite way and pressed my face against his shoulder.
泣きたければ泣け。それくらい受け止めてやる。
Cry all you want. I can at least do that for you. Even if the world doesn't forgive you, I will. I like that line. That was what he whispered in my ear. I really love that line. He's great. He is amazing. Adolf, everyone, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I knew I shouldn't, but the tears didn't stop as my frozen heart began to thaw. My tears flowed in wet as fresh bandages and his flesh. All I could do now was cry. I love him. I love him.